As champions, Liverpool host their great rivals, Manchester United. Tim, when we look at the same fixture last season, that was in January, United managed to hold Liverpool to a 2-2 draw. They might take that these days, I don't know. United beat Sunderland, of course, before the international break, while Liverpool have now lost 3 in a row. I always say this to you, I feel, but who needs the win more? Is it now a factor? Actually, it's more crucial for Arne Slot's side to get a result.
Yeah. I mean, on the back of 3 losses, clearly Liverpool are looking for a bounce back after the break. I think losing 3 times is a big thing for Liverpool, obviously, at the moment. After a really good start, they're going through a bit of they lost that momentum a bit. And like you said, United had a really important win at home. These are the kind of games that can really change your season. I think it's one of those special games, classic ones. As a derby, obviously this one is not a derby, but as such, yeah. I mean, it's up there with one of those biggest games in the world football. So, yeah, the winner of this will carry that momentum into the weeks coming up.
Were you watching that Chelsea game? And what did you think of that late goal? And like you say, the impact that it could have, I suppose.
Yeah, this is it. It's all, we talked about confidence, and this is one of those things. This is one of those wins where United had a fair bit of criticism over the last few weeks, and I think rightly so. But yeah, they've had a good win against Sunderland. But Liverpool now, they're looking for this big bounce, and what a better game against your biggest rivals. To turn things around, I suppose.
What for Liverpool? What do you think has not gone to plan recently? What's gone wrong, if you can pinpoint anything? Or is it a build-up of things, really?
Yeah, there's a mix. I think even though they were winning at the start of the season, they were just winning by last-minute goals, so they weren't that kind of well-oiled machine like last year. Defensively, they're not as solid as they were last year. I do think, obviously, they lost Alisson. I think Konate, they've obviously lost Trent. You've got Kirkis coming in at the left side, who hasn't really been amazing this season. So there's definitely a lot of new faces. I think players are still getting used to certain bits of tactics. So yeah, we're still early doors in the season, but I do think there's time for a bit of nerves at Anfield.
Talk about new faces. One of those, Florian Wirtz, who is probably the player that's been most talked about, but because of the price tag and what he arrived at Anfield for, and no goals, no assists so far. Is this a case of it's difficult, isn't it, when you're joining a new club, a new country, a new league, just a case of taking a little while to settle in? Yeah,
obviously Florian Wirtz is an amazing talent. He's proven it on the big stage in Germany, so he will come good. But at the moment, you can see that he's struggling with the intensity, the pace of the Premier League. You can see he's taking a bit too long on the ball sometimes, and physically he's not quite up there, I don't think, with the demands of the Premier League as such. But he will. He showed signs last week against, I think it was Chelsea, where he had this bit of amazing trickery to Salah, who unfortunately didn't finish it up, because that goal would have gone all over the world if that gone in. So he might need that bit of confidence with an assist like that.
Yeah, and you talked about the defensive problems a minute ago. Do you think things would be different if they had Mark Gay alongside Virgil van Dijk in that centre-back pairing?
Yeah, obviously Gay was truly spoken about in the window, and you can see why, because obviously Mark Gay is a top player for Crystal Palace. He's probably one of the reasons why Palace have been doing so amazing. I mean, that 18-19 game unbeaten run, they've only just missed out. He's fundamental for Palace's great form, so he would have fitted right into that defence of Liverpool, I think.
One thing I do want to ask you about on Manchester United is Senna Lammens, who it felt like really rose to the occasion when he, started against Sunderland.
Yeah, great debut for him.
Surprising how good he was?
I think it was a good game for him to find his kind of confidence. I think Sunderland at home is a different game than Liverpool away. So the real test is this weekend, but I think it was a great game for him to get a feel for it, and he impressed me in that first game. Clearly, it's early doors, but I'm looking forward to see how he's going to cope with the big demands on Sunday.
I mean, he's a young goalkeeper, isn't he? I think a lot of people just didn't know what to expect, really.
Yeah, Well, I didn't, because he's only played 100 games overall in his career. So it was a big gamble when he signed, and I was surprised when he signed. We spoke about players like Martinez being available, Donnarumma. For a club like Man United, I would have expected that kind of status of goalkeeper to be the number one. But he showed some really good qualities last 2 weeks ago. So like I said, I'm really looking forward how he's going to face the test of Liverpool's front three.
Yeah, a very different test.
Yeah.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe gave Ruben Amorim his backing in an interview last week, saying he needs 3 more years to prove himself. What did you make of those comments? I feel like we've spoken a lot about Ruben Amorim when we've been on the show together.
Yeah, I always worry when owners come out and publicly backing, because clearly the results, they need to change. If their results are backing up that confidence, he will stay in the job. But if he loses 5, 6, 7 games in a row, everybody knows that he won't be in the job after that. But it's good that the ownership has come out and backed him, because I do feel, not just Man United, Nottingham as well, it'd be a shame for managers to lose the job that quick, because you can't implement your style in a short space of time.
Do you think he's the right fit for United?
I like him.
From what you've...
Yeah, I like his press conference, his honesty. It's a fresh bit of air for the Premier League. But ultimately, he knows he has to back it up with results.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to in football.
Yeah.
How do you see the game going on Sunday then? Huge game.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I do think Liverpool at home are going to etch it a bit. I think I know you're a Man United fan, so you don't want to hear this, but yeah, no, definitely great game. One of those classics, Super Sundays. Everybody's looking forward to watch.
I feel like maybe even more intriguing as well, the fact that we've had this international break.
Yeah. I think Liverpool clearly losing 3 games in a row. They will be there ready for a massive bounce at home, and I think the Anfield roar will push them on for a great game. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to see how it's going to plan out.
You and me both.
You can almost take 2 views of this. You can say, oh, well, it's only a blip. It was a very short period that they lost those 3 games. Let's not worry about it. They're still relatively close to the top of the table. Or you can take the dim view and say, if they lose the next couple of games and they've got a crucial month coming up, this could all spiral out of control.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way to look at it, because can they get back on form? When you look at how this team is set up, Ryan Gravenberch used to be the sole pivot in front of that back 3, and now they are so vulnerable in possession. Liverpool, they've conceded infinitely more goals than last season because of this. The question is, can they turn it around?
The thing with Liverpool is, can we play the blame game? This is the side that started that defeat against Chelsea. They've obviously got lots of players in there. A lot of money has been spent, particularly over the summer. Who are we blaming? Is it the Liverpool board for not giving Arne Slot the actual players that he needed, particularly in defence? Or is it his fault for not making all these signings work together?
I think we have to look at the bigger picture. The elephant in the room is that Diogo Jota died before this season, and it has severely affected this Liverpool side. I think that the Liverpool board has given Arne Slot the players that he needs for this team to be successful. It is down to Arne Slot to try and rally this dressing room, but tactically, I've seen some real issues with this side. Even at their very best, Liverpool look very susceptible in rest defense, like I mentioned. How can they work Florian Wirtz into this team without being so susceptible defensively? They've got a big issue with Alexander Isak and his form, his fitness mainly, because he sat out for so long with Newcastle. It's tough to work him into this match, and then you've got another striker with Hugo Ekitike, who is in form, and you're sitting him in favor for Alexander Isak. So, saying all that to say, it does come down to Arne Slot. I believe this Liverpool board have given him the right tools to succeed. It's a really, really tough situation, though, dealing with the mental, everything that's overshadowing the club off the pitch, and then trying to fix the tactical problem that he very obviously has.
To use the other side of my analogy, though, you could also take the view that this was a relatively short period and they can bounce back. They're still second in the table. They've still had some good results this season. And when you actually compare the way they're doing after this number of games, we've got it here, the season comparison after the first 11 matches last season to this season. I mean, last season they had scored more, 25 versus 20. They've also conceded a lot more, which speaks to the point that you made there about their defensive frailties. 15 goals conceded compared to only 5 at this stage last season. Less chances created. They have had slightly more of the ball in terms of possession, but also the international break could have come at a good time. You know, it allows them to reset. They go away with their international team. Some of these players have played well. They can then just get, back on the train as soon as they get back to playing for their club sides.
This season is not over for Liverpool. They will have a say. They will be right there in the running. They have too much quality as a squad to fall directly out of the race at this point. It's too early to say that as well. This is an incredibly long season, as you well know. We haven't even gotten to the winter period when games are thick and fast and injuries stack up. And Liverpool's squad is deep enough to be able to handle these types of ups and downs. The question is, again, will Arne Slot be able to sort his team out tactically and shore up this defense? I believe he will. Will it be too late, though?
Not an easy month, though, coming
Not
up.
at all.
Frankfurt, who've proven so far this season they can score plenty of goals. That's coming up in the Champions League after this weekend against Manchester United. Brentford, never easy, particularly when you're playing them away from home. They've beaten Manchester United in recent years as well. Palace, who are flying. Villa, who have found it again. Then you've got Real Madrid. And then Manchester City. So
very,
I don't think Arne
hectic
Slot,
period,
he's not looking at these fixtures and thinking, oh, this is going to be easy street. As for Manchester United, I mean, the issue for them is for me, when you just look at the results, it's just consistency. One week they play well and win. The next week they play poorly and lose. They've obviously had some difficult results in the cup competitions, particularly that game against Grimsby. I think that the main thing for Ruben Amorim to focus on is let's just stick to what we're doing well and try and do it a bit more consistently.
Yeah, I'm going to be frank. I don't believe in Ruben Amorim for this Manchester United team. I don't believe in his system, and I don't believe he has the personnel to pull off his system. I would have worries about Ruben Amorim at the helm of this Manchester United if he had a perfect squad, perfectly built for how he wants to play. I haven't seen a lot of success with a two-man midfield in the Premier League recently. We used to see 4-4-2 all the time, as you know. I haven't seen a lot of success with a two-man midfield. The last time we really saw success in Europe was Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen. But this United team, even with their two-man midfield, even if it could be successful, they don't have the players for it. So I don't have a lot of hope for Ruben Amorim turning this around. They got a result against Sunderland, a lower-tier team, a weaker team, no disrespect to Sunderland. And then they got a result against, before that, basically 10-man Chelsea for 45 minutes. So even though there are some positives, overwhelmingly, I don't believe this will work out for them.
How important is Benjamin Sesko in this puzzle? He has hit form eventually, scoring in a couple of games in a row. He scored against Sunderland before the international break. But for me, when I think about the great Manchester United teams over the last 20 or so years, and this goes back to the Sir Alex Ferguson era, we just saw a photo of him there, United were always typified by a really, really good striker, weren't they? They had the likes of Dwight York, Andy Cole, the greats. Later than that, you had Teddy Sheringham in the side, you had Ruud van Nistelrooy, Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney's another good example.
Ad nauseum,
all the way through, when Manchester United were playing well and they were dominating English football and European football, they always had an out-and-out striker who was scoring goals. Can Sesko be that man and return Manchester United at least towards former glories?
All the signs I've seen of Benjamin Sesko tell me he has the potential to be that player. The issue is, will Manchester United regularly give him the quality chances that he needs to score the goals? He can create chances for himself. He can score goals on his own. He's got good feet. He can take players on one-on-one. But will they regularly give him those crosses that he needs to feed on, the combination play that he needs to feed on? Again, going back to Ruben Amorim's system, I don't think they created enough quality chances for a player like him. Occasionally, he will eat, like we saw against Sunderland, but as a whole, in the long run, this team is not set up well enough to provide him with good quality chances for the quality player that he is.
How do you think the fans are feeling about Manchester United? We mentioned the inconsistency of their results. One win, one defeat, one win, one defeat. It's a repeating process. Do you think they're as sort of out on Amorim at the moment, or they're willing to give him, a few more months to prove it?
From anecdotal evidence, they all want that man out yesterday. Every single match in my group chat that Manchester United plays, when United score, one of my buddies starts cursing because he wants Amorim out so badly. He's willing to sacrifice the pain in the short term because in the long term, he does not believe Ruben Amorim is good for this club. I am also of that belief. I don't know if I'd be cheering my own team losing to that point, but I firmly don't believe.
But do you think the feeling
is right?
Do you think the feeling that is, if a different manager came in with this group of players, that they could get a tune out of them?
I do believe so. The team that Manchester United has is better suited for a 4-3-3. They don't look good in a 3-5, in a 3-4-3. They don't look comfortable. It's not suited for the personnel they have. Firmly believe another manager would be able to come in and fix the issues. They have a lot of talent. They've spent a lot of money, and for once, I think they've spent money in the right places. So there's talent in this team, and another manager could eke it out of them.